Stop scrolling for a second and ask yourself this. Why do some people walk through life getting respect automatically, while others are constantly ignored, disrespected, or underestimated? It's not luck. It's not charm. And it's certainly not about being loud or aggressive. The truth is far simpler and far more powerful than most people realize. If you want to stop people from disrespecting you ever again, you need to understand one life-changing principle that transforms the way others treat you, starting today. This isn't a trick, and it's not about intimidation. It's about owning your presence, protecting your energy, and creating an invisible boundary around yourself that no one dares to cross. By the time this video is over, you'll know exactly how to command respect in every situation, at work, at home, in friendships, or even with strangers, without raising your voice or proving yourself to anyone. Here's the reality most people never admit. Disrespect is allowed, not forced. People only walk over you because somewhere deep down, you're giving them permission. Whether it's hesitation, over-explaining, or staying silent when you should speak up, your actions or inactions communicate to the world how you allow yourself to be treated. And that's why some people seem untouchable. They've already set their invisible standard, and everyone else respects it, whether they realize it or not. The very first step to stopping disrespect is internal recognition of your worth. You need to accept that your time, your energy, and your voice matter. When you value yourself in a way that is undeniable, disrespect simply loses its power. You don't react emotionally. You don't get defensive. You respond with calm confidence that immediately shifts how people approach you. When your presence communicates that you respect yourself, others instinctively mirror that respect. Think of it like a magnet. You project strength, and people naturally maintain boundaries without you ever having to enforce them aggressively. Next, it's crucial to set clear, unwavering boundaries. Boundaries are not a threat. They are a declaration of your value. If a colleague interrupts you constantly, you calmly say, "I'd like to finish my point," then I'm happy to hear your thoughts. If someone makes a hurtful comment, you assert, "I don't find that acceptable, and I'd appreciate respect." These boundaries are simple, clear, and non-negotiable. Consistency is key. Every time you let someone cross a line without consequence, you teach them that disrespect is allowed. But when you reinforce your boundaries calmly and consistently, people immediately understand that you are not someone to mess with. Finally, remember that commanding respect is a habit, not a one-time action. Every interaction is a chance to reinforce your value and your limits. Respect grows when it is repeatedly experienced, and disrespect disappears when it is no longer tolerated. This is not about being intimidating or unkind. It's about self-respect, clarity, and consistency. Once you master this, you will notice something incredible. People naturally treat you differently. They listen, they honor your space, they recognize your value, and they stop trying to disrespect you because it simply doesn't work anymore. Let's dive deeper into how this works in real life. Imagine a scenario at work. Your ideas are constantly ignored in meetings, or a colleague takes credit for your effort. Most people either stay silent, complain to someone behind the scenes, or lash out in frustration. None of these reactions command respect. The powerful approach, the one that actually changes how people treat you, is calm, consistent, and assertive action. You assert your point clearly, without anger or apology, and you follow up consistently. For example, if a coworker interrupts you, say, "I'd like to finish my point first, then I'm happy to hear yours." Say it once calmly. Say it again if needed. Don't yell, don't beg, don't justify. Over time, your consistent assertion creates a natural barrier. People realize that you are not someone they can disregard. This is the silent power that forces respect without confrontation. Respect is deeply tied to perception. People treat you the way you allow yourself to be treated. That's why it's crucial to own your energy. If you walk into a room unsure of yourself, even the most minor comment can cut you down. But if you walk in grounded, confident, and clear about your value, disrespect immediately loses its footing. This is why some people seem untouchable. They radiate a sense of self-worth that others intuitively understand. You don't need to announce it or prove it. Your presence communicates it. It's subtle, but it's undeniable. This is not arrogance, it's awareness. And when you combine awareness with clear boundaries, you create a magnetic respect that is nearly impossible to ignore. Another powerful tool to stop disrespect is selective engagement. Not every battle is worth your energy. Disrespect often thrives when you respond emotionally or give power to someone's negative behavior. Instead, pick your battles wisely. Respond only when necessary, and do so with calm authority. This forces people to adapt to your rules, not the other way around. Over time, they learn that disrespect will either be ignored or gently but firmly corrected. And that pattern alone teaches them to treat you differently. People respect those who are deliberate, not reactive. Let's talk about personal relationships for a moment. Family, friends, or even partners can sometimes cross lines because of familiarity. In these cases, it's tempting to forgive too quickly, make excuses, or let things slide. But here's the reality. Respect is not earned by enduring mistreatment silently. When you assert your boundaries with loved ones consistently, they may resist at first, but they ultimately learn your limits. You are not being cold or harsh. You are teaching others how to treat you while protecting your own well-being. Over time, these boundaries strengthen your relationships rather than weaken them. Disrespect cannot coexist with consistency and clarity. Another critical mindset shift is understanding that disrespect often reflects the other person's insecurities, not your shortcomings. When someone belittles, interrupts, or undermines you, it's rarely about you. It's about them testing their own control, ego, or authority. Recognizing this allows you to detach emotionally and respond strategically. You no longer feel personally attacked. You no longer allow their behavior to define your self-worth. Instead, you respond with calm, measured confidence, reinforcing your boundaries without escalating conflict. This mental shift alone changes the dynamic entirely. Finally, remember this. Respect is a habitual practice. It's not a one-time speech or confrontation. Every interaction, no matter how small, is an opportunity to reinforce your boundaries and communicate your value. Over time, people around you begin to internalize a simple truth. Disrespecting you is not an option. They adapt their behavior because you've consistently demonstrated that you won't tolerate anything less than respect. And when you combine this with self-awareness, calm confidence, and selective engagement, you create an environment where respect is automatic. Now let's talk about advanced strategies that take your ability to command respect to the next level. The first of these is body language and presence. People often underestimate how much their posture, tone, and eye contact communicate value. Stand tall, keep your shoulders back, and maintain calm, steady eye contact when speaking. Your voice should be firm, but relaxed, never shaky or hesitant. Even before you speak, your physical presence communicates confidence and self-worth. This subtle, nonverbal communication tells the world that you are someone who commands respect without needing to prove it verbally. When combined with clear boundaries, this presence acts like a shield. Disrespect simply cannot penetrate it. Another strategy is strategic silence. Sometimes the most powerful response to disrespect is no response at all. Silence is not weakness. It is a demonstration of control. When someone tries to provoke or belittle you, instead of reacting emotionally, pause, breathe, and respond only when necessary, and always from a place of calm authority. This approach forces others to confront their own behavior because they see that their tactics don't work on you. Strategic silence, paired with selective engagement, creates a psychological effect. People quickly learn that disrespect is ineffective and that you are not easily shaken. Next is the power of consistency in your daily interactions. Every small situation, whether it's a minor interruption, a rude comment, or an unfair expectation, is a test. How you respond each time builds your reputation for respect. Over time, people internalize the message that disrespect is never tolerated. This applies across every area of life, at work, with family, in friendships, and even with strangers. Your consistent behavior sets the invisible rules for how others treat you, and those rules are respected automatically. It's not about intimidation, it's about demonstrating that your self-worth is absolute and non-negotiable. Let's also address mindset reinforcement. Respect begins within. Each morning, remind yourself of your value. Visualize interactions where you remain calm, confident, and assertive. Picture yourself setting boundaries without apology and commanding respect effortlessly. This mental rehearsal strengthens your confidence and primes your behavior for real-world situations. When you act from a mindset of unwavering self-respect, others respond accordingly. Respect is contagious. Project it consistently, and the world mirrors it back to you. Another essential practice is preparing for resistance. Not everyone will accept your boundaries immediately. Some people will test them repeatedly, push limits, or try to provoke you. This is normal. The key is not to react with frustration or guilt, but to calmly reaffirm your limits each time. Over time, resistance fades because people learn that your boundaries are permanent, not negotiable. When you approach these moments with patience and confidence, you transform potentially negative interactions into opportunities to reinforce your authority and self-respect. Finally, incorporate daily habits that reinforce your presence and value. This includes things like speaking clearly, avoiding self-deprecation, taking care of your body and energy, and surrounding yourself with people who respect you. Habits are the invisible architecture of respect. They shape how others perceive you, often more than words alone. Over time, these habits become automatic, creating a personal environment where disrespect cannot thrive. When you combine these habits with boundary setting, consistency, calm authority, and strategic silence, you create a life where respect is no longer earned, it is simply assumed. By mastering these strategies, you will notice a profound change. People who once disrespected you begin to treat you differently. Colleagues listen. Friends honor your space. Family members recognize your limits. Even strangers instinctively give you the consideration you deserve. You become untouchable, not because you are intimidating, but because you project confidence, self-respect, and clarity in everything you do. This is the life lesson that changes everything. Disrespect cannot exist where self-respect is unwavering and boundaries are absolute. As we wrap up, let's recap the most important lesson. Respect starts with you. You cannot control how everyone behaves, but you can control how you show up in the world. When you value yourself, set clear boundaries, act consistently, and maintain calm authority, people naturally mirror the respect you project. Disrespect becomes impossible because your presence communicates strength, clarity, and self-worth. This is not about aggression or intimidation. It's about creating an invisible shield that protects your energy and enforces your value without conflict. Remember, this journey begins with a single commitment: to stop tolerating disrespect in any form. The next time someone interrupts, belittles, or undermines you, pause, breathe. Act from confidence, not anger. Speak your truth calmly. Enforce your boundaries consistently. Over time, these small but deliberate actions compound into a powerful personal reputation for respect. People notice, they adapt, and most importantly, you feel empowered because you are finally living life on your own terms. Respect is also a mindset, and it grows stronger the more you reinforce it daily. Each morning, remind yourself that your voice, your time, and your energy are invaluable. Visualize yourself standing tall in every interaction, asserting your boundaries with calm authority, and receiving the respect you deserve. These mental exercises prime your confidence and help you carry it into real-life interactions effortlessly. Combine this with strategic silence, selective engagement, and consistent boundary enforcement, and you create a life where disrespect cannot survive. Finally, understand that this is a lifelong practice, not a one-time event. Every day presents opportunities to strengthen your self-respect and demonstrate it to the world. Every interaction is a chance to reinforce your boundaries and elevate your presence. By consistently applying these lessons, you transform not only how people treat you, but also how you experience life. You feel more confident, more empowered, and more in control of your energy. And the best part? People will sense your unwavering self-respect, and disrespect will stop before it even starts. If this lesson resonates with you, don't let it stop here. Start applying it today. Identify one area in your life where you've tolerated disrespect and commit to enforcing a clear, calm boundary. Practice it consistently. Notice how people react. Over time, you will witness a dramatic shift, not only in how others treat you, but in how you perceive yourself. Your self-respect becomes unshakable, and your life becomes a reflection of the boundaries and value you enforce. So here's your takeaway. Respect is commanded, not requested. Disrespect is tolerated only when allowed. Protect your energy, set your boundaries, and act with unwavering confidence. Do this consistently, and you will never have to worry about being disrespected again. Now take action. Reflect on one boundary you need to enforce today. Commit to it silently, assert it calmly, and notice how your world begins to change. Your presence, your confidence, and your consistency are all it takes to create a life where respect is automatic. Start today, and watch as the people around you adjust naturally to the power of your self-respect. To truly stop people from disrespecting you, it's essential to adopt long-term habits that reinforce your presence and value. Respect is not earned overnight, and a single boundary is not enough. Think of respect like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Start small. Correct minor instances of disrespect immediately, whether it's someone speaking over you, making a dismissive comment, or ignoring your ideas. Each small action builds your reputation and trains others to recognize that your limits are absolute. Over time, these repeated calm responses create a consistent pattern that people cannot ignore or violate. Another important strategy is to develop emotional resilience. Disrespect often triggers anger, frustration, or self-doubt, but reacting emotionally gives power back to the person trying to disrespect you. Instead, practice detachment. Observe the behavior without taking it personally. Remind yourself that their disrespect reflects their mindset and choices, not your worth. By maintaining emotional control, you strengthen your presence and communicate that no one can shake you or manipulate your energy. Calm authority, paired with consistent boundaries, is one of the strongest signals people can perceive. It's also crucial to choose your environment and relationships wisely. Surround yourself with people who respect you naturally and align with your energy. Toxic environments or relationships often normalize disrespect and make it harder to enforce boundaries. By limiting exposure to such negativity and prioritizing people who elevate you, you create a supportive ecosystem where respect is the default. This doesn't mean avoiding challenges, but it does mean protecting your energy and reinforcing your self-worth in every interaction. One often overlooked technique is preparing your responses in advance. Think about situations where disrespect commonly arises: meetings, social gatherings, family dinners, and plan how you will respond calmly and assertively. This preparation reduces hesitation and ensures you maintain consistency, even under pressure. Practice phrasing like, "I'd like to finish speaking," or "I don't appreciate being spoken to that way," until it feels natural. The more rehearsed your responses are, the easier it becomes to enforce boundaries without anxiety or doubt. Finally, remember that self-respect is contagious. When you value yourself and enforce your limits consistently, others around you start to mirror your behavior. Your confidence sets the tone, your calm authority commands attention, and your boundaries create a framework that others instinctively follow. Respect becomes a natural byproduct of the environment you cultivate. This is the ultimate life lesson. Disrespect cannot exist where self-respect is unwavering, boundaries are clear, and confidence is consistent. By incorporating these habits, consistency, emotional resilience, mindful relationships, prepared responses, and unwavering self-respect, you create a life where disrespect is no longer possible. Every interaction reinforces your authority. Every calm boundary strengthens your reputation. And every confident action teaches others how to treat you. When you combine all of these elements, you reach a point where respect is not something you ask for, it is automatically given. The path to commanding respect is ongoing, but it is also incredibly empowering. Each day, each interaction, and each decision to uphold your boundaries strengthens your self-worth and communicates a powerful message to the world. You will not tolerate anything less than respect, and your presence is valuable beyond measure. This is not just a strategy, it's a lifestyle, a mindset, and a transformative habit that changes the way people treat you forever. Let's explore another crucial aspect of commanding respect: mental framing. How you think about yourself directly influences how others perceive and treat you. If you approach life with doubt, insecurity, or a constant need for approval, people will sense it and may attempt to take advantage. But when you cultivate a mindset rooted in certainty and self-assurance, disrespect loses all power. Visualize yourself as someone whose boundaries are non-negotiable, whose time and energy are valuable, and whose voice matters. Every decision, action, and reaction should come from this place of inner strength. When you internalize this, respect becomes inevitable. People naturally respond to the energy you project, and a strong mental framework ensures that energy is unwavering, consistent, and magnetic. Real-life examples make this principle even clearer. Imagine a scenario where a colleague repeatedly interrupts you in meetings. Most people might fume silently, argue in frustration, or avoid speaking altogether. Instead, consider the approach of calm authority. Pause, make eye contact, and assert your point with confidence. For instance, "I'd like to finish my point before we continue." No yelling, no over-explaining, just clarity and calm assertiveness. Over time, your colleague learns that you are not someone to be dismissed or interrupted, and the dynamic of the relationship shifts. Respect is communicated, enforced, and internalized, not demanded. Another example is within personal relationships. A friend or family member may cross boundaries, either intentionally or unknowingly. Instead of letting resentment build or excusing the behavior, take decisive action. Calmly state your limits. I value our relationship, but I cannot accept being spoken to that way. This demonstrates self-respect without aggression. Consistency is key. Each time the boundary is tested, reaffirm it. Eventually, people in your life will adjust because they understand that your boundaries are permanent, not negotiable. The more consistently you enforce them, the stronger your aura of respect becomes. Advanced techniques also include energy management. Your emotional energy communicates more than words ever could. If you react with anxiety, frustration, or fear, people pick up on it immediately. By contrast, when you manage your energy, stay calm, and project confidence, you send a clear message. Disrespect has no effect on you. Practices like controlled breathing, grounding exercises, and daily reflection strengthen your ability to maintain this energy consistently. Over time, people begin to instinctively treat you with respect because your presence radiates calm authority. It's also important to understand the concept of preemptive respect. This is the idea that you don't wait for others to behave respectfully before asserting your value. You demonstrate it first. Speak clearly, act decisively, and maintain composure in every interaction. When you lead with self-respect, others naturally mirror it. Respect is no longer conditional. It becomes the default behavior toward you. This approach eliminates the cycle of disrespect entirely because people quickly realize that disrespect is both ineffective and futile. Finally, remember that commanding respect is as much about inner transformation as external behavior. Cultivating self-worth, mental resilience, and boundary enforcement rewires your interactions. You stop feeling reactive to others' behavior and instead operate from a place of control, clarity, and strength. This mindset shift is profound. It changes how you experience life, elevates your relationships, and ensures that disrespect cannot penetrate your sphere. When your mental framework, behavior, and energy are aligned, respect is automatic, consistent, and unshakable. As we bring this full circle, remember this: respect begins with you. No one can truly disrespect you unless you allow it, and the power to command respect lies entirely in your hands. By valuing yourself, setting clear boundaries, acting consistently, and projecting calm confidence, you create an unshakable presence that others cannot ignore. Disrespect loses its power because it meets a wall of self-assurance, clarity, and unwavering self-worth. This is the ultimate life lesson. Respect is not something you beg for or demand. It is something you naturally command through your actions, mindset, and presence. Think of every interaction as an opportunity to reinforce this principle. When someone tries to belittle you, interrupt you, or undermine your authority, pause, respond calmly, speak with clarity and confidence, enforce your boundaries without apology. Over time, these small, deliberate actions compound, creating a powerful personal reputation that silently communicates, "I will not tolerate disrespect, and my value is absolute." People notice, they adjust, and your life transforms as a result. The beauty of this lesson is that it applies across every area of life. At work, with friends, with family, and even with strangers. It is not about being loud, aggressive, or intimidating. It is about living consistently from a place of self-respect. When you combine awareness, assertiveness, emotional control, energy management, and daily reinforcement of your boundaries, you achieve a state where respect is automatic. People will naturally treat you differently, and you will finally experience the freedom of being fully honored and acknowledged in your interactions. Here's your call to action. Start today. Identify one area of your life where you've tolerated disrespect. Commit to enforcing a clear boundary, communicate it calmly, and act consistently. Visualize yourself standing tall, speaking confidently, and receiving the respect you deserve. Every day, reinforce your value through action and mindset. Over time, this practice will create a life where disrespect no longer exists, a life defined by confidence, clarity, and unwavering self-respect. So remember this truth: disrespect is allowed only when tolerated. Respect is commanded by those who value themselves, enforce their boundaries, and act with calm authority. Begin now. Protect your energy, honor your presence, and project your worth in every interaction. Do this consistently, and you will never have to worry about being disrespected again. Your life, your relationships, and your energy will transform as people naturally respond to the powerful life lesson you have learned today. Take action, own your presence, command respect. Your life is waiting for the shift you choose to create right now. If you've made it this far, drop a 100 in the comments. It shows you are part of the 1% that's improving every single day.